Welcome to the Solemn Vanguard channel. Today we talk about how to beat Battle Sisters, and a little shout out to Jamie Wolfgang who gave me a few tips here and there for the video. As many of us know by now, once set 12 drops, and the sneak was I think yesterday in America, Battle Sisters become a force to be reckoned with, going from tier 678 trash to tier 1 god mode in just a single set is no easy feat. So let's see how we can turn them down a notch. As always, I will go over some cards they play and what makes them deadly, and after that we'll go over some tactics to deal with them. But first, a message from our sponsor. Sponsored by Royalty Playmat Designs, the perfect way to get a custom and exclusively for you design for your Vanguard playmats. Choose your units, choose some or no zones, choose a tagline, a team name, the name of your bunny. Anything your heart desires at Royalty Playmat Designs. Starting with the Great Force, Battle Sisters got two amazing strides in set 12. First off, they got Solemn, or whatever you want to call it, which is basically a tiny Sanctuary Guard Regale with a busted skill on top. It gives all Battle Sisters a 3k boost, but on top of that allows you to stack the top of your deck in order to increase trigger chances. The more Battle Sisters you have, the more you can stack. You can basically stack 5 cards however you want. They can also send stuff to the bottom though, so if they find, let's say, 2 triggers, they can send the other 3 cards to the bottom, leave the 2 triggers on top, and get another chance to get that 3rd trigger. The second stride they got is a generic Oracle Think Tank stride that just doesn't allow you to use G-Guardians or Great Zeros to guard, period. Silent Dom on steroids. They also run Excite Battle Sister Miroir like they always have. For Grade 3s, they received a new Grade 3, which is the primary ride target, so much so that some decks even only run 4 Grade 3s. This helps them with rush and ensures they don't miss ride. To be fair though, this can also turn out badly for them. Luckily they draw and decked it in the early game, allowing them to draw into it way more easily. This new primary Grade 3 also has a tiny Vanguard Regale skill, making their first stride insanely deadly from the get-go. For Grade 2s, they got Sable, which draws, the 10k Vanilla for the early game, Crepe, which draws, Macaron, the 12k attacker, Berry Mousse, which gains power for Battle Sisters Calling, Pudding, a countercharger, and Cocotte, the hyped up overpriced price gauge draw waifu. Overall though, the large majority of competitive decks run Sable, Pudding, Crepe, Cocotte, and sometimes Macaron. For Grade 1s, there isn't a whole lot to worry about. It's really the Grade 2s that make this deck an early game force to be reckoned with. As for triggers, they can comfortably run 12 crits because they draw a lot already. However, since they do need pieces to function, some might run a few draws. Getting into the actual tactics to deal with the deck though. Tactic 1, this deck will rush so damn hard. They can release a full onslaught of attacks on turn 2, and if you let them hit, they'll counterblast, draw, and countercharge a bunch, so don't overextend. Unlike the other tier 1 decks we discussed, this deck can easily rush you back harder than you could even imagine. Keep a solid hand size during these turns so you aren't caught off guard by a turn 2 loss. Tactic 2, as a total contradiction to that first statement, do keep in mind that this deck becomes increasingly hard to guard the more you shift from early to mid game. Once they hit GB3, they get the choice between fuck off, you don't guard shit, or fuck off, my units are gigantic. So you can either take it all early in order to keep hand for the late game, but then they go into fuck off, you don't guard shit, and your hand becomes worthless, or you guard hard early, leaving you with an empty hand, and they'll go for fuck off, my units are gigantic, which again means you can't really guard, which is why Tactic 3 is a pretty solid answer. Tactic 3, this deck is extremely rearguard reliant. The new Stolen Stride can stack the top of the deck depending on the amount of rearguards they have. All their power is also spread around the rearguards with Stolen and Florentines plus 3k boosts. If you can, nuke rearguards and nuke them hard. If you're able to keep their field empty, they will be forced to drop their hand in order to get their skills off. They don't have any sickening way of superior calling full boards, so that's their only real out. Tactic 4. As an extension of the fact that you nuke rearguards, chances are you don't give them a whole lot of damage. This is both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, this means they can't use all their skills since Florentine, Stolen, and lots of their rearguards do ask for counterblast, but on the other hand, once they get into GB3, their guard restrict and power goes off the charts and you might just not be able to keep up. Tactic 5. This deck does not like facing multi-attacks. They might draw quite a bit, but their hand is also their only source of consistent field building. If they need to start throwing away their hand, their aggressive turns will become less aggressive as well. You might even force them into a mediocre turn, just so they can get hand back and build a full field afterwards. That was it for this video. Overall, this is another one of those tough matchups, but the deck is very linear. Call a board, rush hard, crit a bunch, go into stride, gain massive amounts of power, say fuck off to your guard options, and that's it. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you're not subscribed to the Solemn Vanguard channel yet, please do so. Comment if you want me to cover any other deck or perhaps make another kind of video. Like the video if you liked the video, and I will see you soon. Ciao!